Hi, my name is Amy, and this is Viva Health Magazine. Today, we're on the campus of Ghana Institute of Journalism, and we're asking people what they know about mental health and mental disorders. Stay with me. What is mental health?
Okay, in my own way, I think mental health is the emotional state of an individual that has got to do with his thinking or his brain, the ability to think normally. Yeah.
What do you understand by mental disorders?
I think mental disorder has got to do with veering off the accepted norm as a sane human being. There is an accepted standard of thinking that to say that you are sane, there is an accepted standard. So when you veer off that pattern, we all believe that you are mentally unstable or you have mental disorder.
What are some of the telltale signs of mental illness or disorders?
Okay, so one thing is, I think they are obvious. You see people taking off their clothes, walking about barefooted, and it's shouting all over. So I think it's obvious with people scratching their body, leaving their houses to stay at weird places and all that. So yeah.
Thank you so much for talking to us, Kapna. What do you think mental health is?
Okay, to me, mental health, to my understanding, deals with the soundness of your mind. Yes, that's what I think.
What do you understand by mental disorders?
Okay, mental disorders would have to deal with like pressures affecting your brain, which is not making you think correctly or rightly as you're supposed to. And mostly that results, or let me say, that occurs as a result of depression.
What are some of the telltale signs of mental illnesses or disorders to you?
Okay, to me, if someone is placed under some kind of immense pressure, talking to yourself like this solely requires something. But then here's a case where you realize that the person is in the form of a distress or worry. Yeah, so that kind of makes the person actually act kind of weird.
Thank you so much, Hetty, for talking to us. What do you think mental health is?
Mental health is the psychological well-being of an individual.
What do you think or what do you understand by mental disorders or illnesses?
Mental disorders, maybe they are the challenges some people are facing, psychological.
And lastly, what are some of the telltale signs of mental illness? I have no idea. What do you see to pinpoint and say that okay, it's because of this, she's acting this way, because like symptoms or signs of
Maybe stress, drug abuse, people can take medicine, and loneliness.
Thank you so much for talking to us, Hetty. What do you think mental health is?
I think mental health is your state of mind, how your brain processes things. Sometimes it's not every time that people get straight, stable mind, but I think mental health is based on how you think, how you process things.
What do you understand by mental disorders or illnesses?
I think mental disorder is the state when someone's mind is not, I would say, normal. Not normal, is abnormal. The person is not thinking like how a normal person would, or maybe the person is having difficulties in how the brain actually works.
What do you think can be done to help or assist people suffering from such illness?
I think that, in my opinion, people suffering from mental disorder should be given a chance to talk about how they feel. Sometimes it could be anxiety, it could be something else. It's not every time that when a person is having mental disorder, they take the person to the asylum or something, or they leave them walking by the street and it turns out worse. I think that they need to be helped by giving them therapists to talk to, or taking them to the hospital, anything to help them out. They shouldn't just left like that. I mean, it's like they're walking time bombs.
Thank you so much, Julia, for talking to us. What do you think mental health is?
Mental health, basically, I would say it's having problem with your psychological brains, and yeah, basically that's what I know. Mental health.
What do you think, or what do you understand by mental disorders or mental illness?
Okay, basically, as humans, we all know that even as a child, you have to crawl before you start to, stand on your feet before you finally walk. So it will be unusual if this child doesn't go through this process but just started walking, because we have an analogy that when you brush your teeth at a very tender age, you get to ooze blood from your gums. So basically, mental health disorder, that's how I see it to be.
What do you think can be done to assist people suffering from mental health?
Okay, financially, emotionally, and psychologically, we need not to damn them. We have to educate them about mental disorders, the functions of the brain, what and what not to use the brain for. Actually, basically, that's what I'm saying.
Thank you so much for talking to us, Bright. Havila, what do you understand by mental health?
I think mental health is the emotional and psychological fitness or wellness of an individual.
What do you understand by mental disorders?
When there's a distortion in any of the factors I stated, emotionally, when there's an emotional distortion or a psychological distortion, of an individual, then definitely that should be a mental disorder. Yes.
My last question to you would be, what do you think are the challenges associated with the treatment of mental illnesses in Ghana?
Generally very poor, because we seem to not care really, whatever state the individual is going through. We leave them on our streets because of the inadequacy of our mental health facilities, and it's like societally we failed. And on the part of government, I think first of all, it's quite expensive if you want to keep these individuals there, and it appears the state don't have much to keep this individual. But if the state isn't doing it, I think we need to come together, find means. We can put them maybe on a welfare something, maybe introduce a welfare tax. In the area of mental health financing. Then we can have enough resources to bring in the drugs, to expand the facilities, and also create avenues where people going through some difficulty mentally and emotionally will seek redress. I think if we're able to do that, but as it stands now, I'll rate it 5 over 100. It's very poor. Yes.
Thank you so much, Havila, for talking to us. Have a great day. What do you think mental health is?
Mental health is a situation where there's a defect with the mind. That's my little understanding on mental health.
What do you understand by mental disorders or mental illness?
Oh, for me, I think I have a little knowledge on bipolar, schizophrenia, and that. So that's my little understanding on mental health.
What do you think are the challenges associated with the treatment of such illnesses in Ghana, like as a country?
When it comes to mental health in Ghana, we are not paying critical attention to it. For example, with mental health insurance does not cover it. There are some parts where you need to pay for the drugs you go in for. That is when you go to Pansa and Ankafo, parents or people would have to pay for drugs in order to get well. So I think that the government must focus on that, and there must be enough sensitization on that issue.
Thank you so much, Philip, for talking to us. What do you think mental health is?
The well-being of your thoughts, the way you think. Yeah.
Okay. What do you understand by mental disorders or illnesses?
I think it's like deviation from the normal way of thinking or behaving as a human being.
Also, last but not least, I want you to tell me what you think are some of the challenges government is facing, like with the treatment of such illnesses.
It's always the issue for me. I think it's the issue about finances, because we are really like low on the ladder when it comes to mental health issues in Ghana, most of the times the government institutions who are supposed to be helping these mentally disordered people, it's not appropriate. Like, there's a lot of things needed, a lot of care that they need, and drugs. Yeah.
Thank you so much for talking to us, Debbie.
You're welcome.
Enjoy your day.
Thank you.
What do you think mental health is?
Mental health is a state whereby the individual has all his faculties and then the functions of his brains performing as it's supposed to be.
What do you also think, or what do you understand by mental disorders or mental illnesses?
Yes, as I indicated earlier, they are when it is functioning properly, but when the individual cannot clearly think or is facing some kind of difficulties with the thinking capacity and abilities, then that is what is simply termed as mental disorder.
What do you do when you suspect a loved one who has like mental health issues? What do you do?
Yeah, the best thing to do is to send the person to the psychiatric hospital. For they are the experts, they know how to deal with such people and prescribe the right prescriptions for the person to get healed.
Thank you so much, Moses, for talking to us. What do you understand by mental health?
Okay, mental health to me, it has two sides. The aspect of someone not being mentally correct, and the aspect of someone being mentally sound. Yeah, so that's what I know.
And what do you understand by mental disorders or illnesses?
Okay, mental disorder or illnesses is when one's psychological order or state of mind is not really functioning well. The person sees things that generally is correct as something which is wrong and all those things. So basically that's what I think it's.
What do you do when you find out a loved one or you suspect a loved one showing signs of mental illness or disorders?
Okay, so I remember sometime last year I was with a company and I was privileged to, let's say, be on a panel for an interview where one lady came and after the interview we decided to pick her because of the qualifications and things she brought. But after a period of time, her behavior and everything was different. So we saw that it was someone who came to tell us that this lady is not really in the right state of mind because of her husband divorced and all those things. So in that instant, immediately we got to know that I had to remain calm. And now you have to show that person real love. The person would talk a lot. The person would do all those things that you on a normal day you wouldn't accept. But because you know the person is mentally ill, I think you just have to be patient and show the person love.
Thank you so much for talking to us.
Yeah, mental health, it talks about the inability of someone, a person, to be able to have a control of himself or herself, living a normal life.
What do you also understand by mental disorders or mental illnesses?
Mental disorder, we're talking about, if when there is this kind of disorder in your mental life, let's say everything is really not going well with your life.
What do you do if you suspect a loved one showing signs of illnesses? What do you do?
A loved one showing signs of illnesses, I think that you need to first of all maybe seek for medical care. That could be the appropriate thing, because you may not even know the exact kind of ailment or mentality that is really disturbing the personality.
Thank you so much for talking to us, Peter.
Mental health is when someone is when there is nothing going on wrong in someone's mind, the person is like is healthy. Yeah, that's what I know.
What do you also understand by mental disorders or mental illnesses?
Okay, mental disorder is when somebody is having a physical or emotional problem which affects the person mentally. Yeah.
Last but not least, what do you do if you find out that your boyfriend is like showing signs of mental illnesses?
I'll send him to the psychiatric hospital. Nah.
Jeremy, thanks for talking to us.
Mental health is about keeping a healthy life when it comes to the mind, how you think, how you do things relating to the mind.
What do you understand by mental disorders or mental illnesses?
Okay, mental illness is somebody who has problem with his mental, like somebody who is not 100%, as we always put it. Yeah.
What do you do if you suspect your girlfriend has or showing signs of mental illnesses or disorders?
I'll send her to the psychiatric hospital. Yeah, that's the only place I can send her to. Yeah, sure. Come again? No. I don't have to. Because I was with her when she was normal, so I will have to be with her till that disease goes off.
Thank you so much, Safa, for talking to us.